the repercussions and the responsibility. If I fail, I am responsible. Leave the cell door open. Let him escape. Let him. It's our only chance.
Monsieur.
Well, you can threaten me with the bottom pits of hell, and still I insist. This obscenity must be destroyed. Do you hear me? Destroyed!
When I was young, I wanted to be an artist. You know, I dreamt I was going to be a great painter someday. So, I'm a cashier.
Why are you looking at me? Is my face dirty?
It's beautiful.
Cell door open. That's all there is to it. Let him escape.
In my view, it's all very irregular. It might entail the most embarrassing repercussions.
Exactement.
Certainly.
It's a responsibility of the first magnitude.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wilson, but you must
blast all this discussion. What good are words? I'm sick of words. Hang the repercussions and the responsibility. If I fail, I am responsible. Leave the cell door open. Let him escape. Let him. It's our only chance.
Monsieur.
Well, you can threaten me with the bottom pits of hell, and still I insist. This obscenity must be destroyed. Do you hear me? Destroyed!
Todos los pasajeros desembarquen. All passengers ready to disembark.
I'm traveling for my health. I'm traveling for my health.
Tengan listos sus pasaportes. Get your passports ready.
I'm traveling for my health.
Je n'ai pas compris. I don't understand.
You business in this country, senora.
I'm joining my husband.
Next, please. Stefan Polanski. You take care of him, too, senor. Your business in this country, senor.
I'm traveling for my health.
How?
I am traveling for my health.
Oh. You are a native of what country?
Holland.
Oh, Holland. Trata permanece. Next, please. ¿Para qué vino usted a este país, señor?
¿Qué pasó?
Yo lo voy a seguir a pie, tú vete en el carro.
Ah, bien.
Hotel Nacional, 7702.
Hello? Yes? You haven't lost him.
You sure you know where he's going?
My wife is following him. He's gone to the photographer's, probably to get a new passport and new instructions.
Hold it. I wish to know the whereabouts of Franz Kindler. Franz Kindler. There is no Franz Kindler. Franz Kindler is dead and cremated. It's a command! I have a message for Franz Kindler from the All-Highest. It is forbidden. I command you in the name of that authority. You know the name he is using? Connecticut. In the United States. The town of Harper.
Harper!
No. Excuse me.
From Lake Arrowhead, and is that place crowded? The hotel gave me a room that was so small, every time I closed the door, the knob got in bed with me. And you know how cold those brass doorknobs are on a winter night. I had so many blankets
Good
in that
afternoon.
bed, I had
Good
to use a
afternoon.
boat rock to find a place to get
Have a
in.
nice trip?
You know, it got so
Yes,
cold
thank
that
you.
at 4 o'clock in the morning, I got up and lit a
Quite a
fire
story you
in my
have here,
bedroom. If you
Mr.
ever had a fire in your nightshirt, you
Potter.
know what I was
That's
up
me.
against. The place
We
was
sell
just
about
full of
everything
rats,
here.
and two of them started fighting in the middle of the room. Well, I told the manager, I said, hey, there's 2 rats fighting in this room. He said, what do you want for $1.25? A bullfight? About 7 o'clock in the morning, the house detective knocked on the door. He said, is there a maid in your room? I said, no. So he pushed one in. She was a cute little chambermaid. Said to me, did you ever hear the double bed? I said, no. So she said, I just laid it out. Of course, there was another fellow in the room with me. He was at the desk when I checked in. There was one
This
left.
suitcase,
The clerk said, Mr.
I could leave it here?
Beecham,
There's a bag off. Oh, yeah, I don't assume no responsibility. Just put it up on the shelf. It'll be there when you want it.
I'll buy this magazine.
That'll be in time, mister.
What's the best hotel in town?
Best place to stay down at Mrs. Peabody's. It's just down the road here a piece.
Yeah.
I said, is he good? He said, good. He's dead.
This way, mister.
Yes, thank you.
I may come in?
Yes, of course.
Does Mr. Charles Rankin live here?
Yes, he does, but he isn't here right now.
You expect him?
Yes, in a few minutes.
How soon?
Well, a few minutes.
A few minutes. I may... I may wait here?
Well, yes, if you like. Would you like to sit down?
Thank you.
You a friend of Mr. Rankin's?
Yes, a friend.
I'm Mary Longstreet. How do you do?
How do you do?
Mr. Rankin ought to be here now. Sometimes he stays after his last class, but he'll be coming straight here today, I'm sure. Because this is our wedding day.
You're getting married?
Yes, at 6 o'clock. I know it's most unconventional, my being here today, but I want to get these curtains up.
When he comes, which way does he come?
Why, from Webster Hall. It's the big dome building right over there, you see?
I shall meet him.
Well, who shall I say that go...
Franz. It's I, Franz.
Meineke, we mustn't be seen talking together. Go back to the church, into the woods, you understand me? Follow the path. I'll meet you there.
Hello, Professor Rankin.
Hello, man. What are you up to?
Paper chase.
Oh, paper chase?
I go ahead and lay the trail. You ought to have Jerry's job, Mr. Rankin. Take a little off that waistline.
No, you ought to go with us, Mr. Rankin.
Oh, where to?
The woods.
Blondie.
Oh, buzzard.
The woods? Well, I'd like to. I'm afraid I have a couple of things to attend to.
Well, join us later. We'll be out till dark.
All right.
Oh, we'll catch up with you.
Meineke.
Yes, Meineke. I thought I had been hanged. The others, but not I. A dead man could not stand face to face with you, Franz.
Hey, no, wait for me.
You're not much changed. But you're back in your old uniform. Look very much the same.
Franz, I am a different man than before.
I, too. I, too, am different, Conrad. You know how I gathered and destroyed every single item in Germany and Poland that might have served as a clue to my identity. Well, guess what I'll be doing at 6 o'clock tonight? Standing before a minister of the gospel with a woman's hand in mine, the daughter of a justice of the United States Supreme Court, a famous liberal. The girl's even good to look at. Yes, the camouflage is perfect. Who would think to look for the notorious Franz Kindler in the sacred precincts of the Harper School, surrounded by the sons of America's first families? And I'll stay hidden till the day when we strike again.
Franz, there will be another war?
Of course.
War is an abomination, saith the Lord. It is to tell you this that I am here. He set me free that I might come here and tell.
Who set you free?
To you. The All-Highest.
You don't mean?
I mean God. Franz, I'm a new man since I found you.
You, Conrad, religious.
Franz, all doors were open to me. All doors. It was one of God's miracles.
freed you so you'd lead them to me. Have you been followed? Were you followed here?
Yes.
Who followed you?
The evil one. He looked like any other man. He was dressed like any other man. He even smoked a pipe. But I recognized him through his disguise. And I killed him, striking from on high down. God's will be done.
You killed him, the man with the pipe? The man who followed you? No one else followed you?
You must be brought to salvation, Franz. Confess your sins as I have. Proclaim your guilt. Only thus you can attain salvation.
You really think so, Conrad?
It will take strength. Such strength as can come only from God. Kneel by me, Franz. And together we will pray to him to give you strength. I have sinned against heaven and before thee. I am not worthy to be called thy son. Say these words after me. I despair of my sins.
I despair of my sins.
O God of all goodness, how could I ever have offended thee?
Of all goodness.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered together here in the sight of God and in the face of this company to join together this man and this woman in holy matrimony. And forsaking all others, keep thee only unto her so long as ye both shall live.
I will.
Mary, wilt thou have this man for thy wedded husband, to live together after God's ordinance in the holy estate of matrimony? Wilt thou love him, comfort him, honor and keep him in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, keep thee only unto him so long as ye both shall live?
I will.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Wedding?
Yep. Judge Longstreet's daughter. He's Supreme Court Justice, you know.
Bottle of aspirin, please.
Right back there, third shelf down from the top. You'll see the big ones on the left, the economy size. You have to get it yourself, mister. Right back there. All your needs are on our shelves. Just look around and help yourselves. Right in there, right this one. That's it. Living down to Mrs. Peabody's?
Just a few days only. Some coffee, too, please. Or should I get it myself?
Cafeteria style around here, mister.
That's right. Self-service.
The usual thing.
Yes, that's $3 even, Mr. Todd.
No limit on the cream.
But all the people around here take it black.
The one on the right, mister.
Oh, thank you. Who is Miss Longstreet marrying?
One of the teachers down at school.
A stranger in town.
I issued the license.
Oh.
Yep. I'm town clerk. Checkers?
All right. Town clerk, huh?
Yep.
Well, that must be quite a responsibility.
Oh, town clerk runs the town, you might say. We usually make it for 15, 20. We often play as high as 25 cents a game.
Well, that's kind of stiff for me, but I'll take a flyer. Make $1 million, lose $1 million.
That's the way it goes. I move.
All right. Well, you must know just about everybody in town here.
Not just about. Know everybody. You're on business?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. School business?
Oh.
No. Selling something?
Mm-mm.
No. Buying? Oh, antique dealer. They all come to Harper. Judge Longstreet's got the best collection in these parts. Won't do you no good, though.
No, I don't suppose he'd sell. Happen to know there are any other out-of-town buyers here?
Let me... Come to think of it, there's a fella come in this morning.
Yeah?
Came on the same bus with you.
Okay.
Left his suitcase here, never did come back for it. He might have been one of them. No, he was more of the missionary type. Wasn't in here but a minute, just looked in the phone book. Tiny little fella he was, thinnish, unfortunate looking. Hurt your head, mister?
No, nothing serious.
Oh, that's too bad. It's a game you got to keep your mind on. Ha! 25 cents, please.
I won't pretend I'm not disappointed.
Hello, Father. Has anybody seen my brand new husband?
Don't tell me he's deserted you already.
Yes, looks as if, the brute.
Listen, Red, have you seen Charles?
You go find him for me. Go on, go find Charles. Hurry up.
I've looked everywhere for him, Mary, and I can't find him.
Oh, I wonder where he could be. I'm getting worried.
Are you, darling? What about?
Charles, you've changed.
Don't you think you'd better? After all, aren't we supposed to be going on a honeymoon or something?
Give me 5 minutes.
Was that you working up there on the clock?
No, I was just cleaning around it.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing. From what I can see out front, beautiful.
Yes.
My name's Wilson.
Oh, I'm Longstreet, Noah Longstreet.
Oh, I'm glad to know you.
Mr. Wilson?
I couldn't judge any too well out front, but I'd say it was late 16th century, probably by Hobrecht of Strasbourg. The clock.
Well, I wouldn't know. My brother-in-law's going to work on it.
Is he up there now?
No. He's on his honeymoon. He plans to work on it when he gets back.
Oh. Is he an expert?
Well, yes, but it's really more of a hobby with him.
Really? Well, it is with me, too.
Oh.
Honeymoon?
Yes. He and my sister. He has to be back on Friday because of the examinations.
Oh.
He's one of the teachers at the school. His name is Rankin.
Oh?
It's nice to be able to show it to someone who knows what Revere Silver's all about.
Mm.
But personally, my specialty is pewter.
Oh, yes, pewter. The Revere workmanship, although sometimes heavy in design, almost invariably shows the sign of a master craftsman. It's beautiful.
Noah.
Hello, Mary.
Hello, honey.
Oh, Mary,
Adam.
dear. Mr. Wilson, my daughter, Mary.
Oh, how do you do, Mr. Wilson? I'm
My
glad to see
son-in-law,
you.
Charles Rankin.
How do you do?
How do you do?
I hope you don't mind my intruding on your homecoming.
Good evening, Mary.
Jeff, how are you?
Fine. You're looking good.
Welcome home, Miss Mary, dear.
Sarah. Oh, Sarah, you sweet thing.
If you don't sit down, it'll get cold.
Come on, Jan.
I'm so glad.
Well, sister, how were the mountains?
They were perfectly marvelous. Mr. Wilson, will you come sit over here on my right? Jeff, your usual place, and darling, you're right there. You ought to see Charles on skis. He's absolutely wonderful.
No.
Yes, darling, you are, and I'm pretty good too, aren't I?
Very.
Well, for a beginner.
Do you remember to keep your knees together and your apparatus in?
Yes, Freshy, I did.
Mr. Wilson here is compiling a catalogue of Paul Revere silver.
How nice.
Mr. Wilson is also an authority on clocks.
Oh, really? That's Charles' hobby, too.
Yes, so your brother tells me. I understand you're going to fix the one in the church tower.
Well, I may try.
Well, that's quite an undertaking.
I'll show the kind of a wife I am. I hope he fails. I like Harper just the way it is, even to the clock that doesn't run.
Have you been at Harper long, Mr. Wilson?
Since Friday, a week ago.
You lost today. I patched you up on Friday. By the way, how's the head?
Oh, very much improved, thanks to you, Doctor.
You were hurt on Thursday, remember? The day of the wedding.
Yes, that's right. Wednesday, I left Bangor.
You were hurt, Mr. Wilson?
Oh, nothing serious.
Well, serious enough to raise a bump on his head the size of a billiard ball.
The usual door.
Good thing you're back, sister. That dog of yours has been inconsolable.
Well, all right, Red. Wait a minute. Here you are. This is for missing me. How's that? Yeah, it's a good boy. How was your meeting, Adam?
Oh, irritating. Foreign Policy Association.
I read that fellow's report.
Standish, yes.
I think he's full of prunes.
Well, that's the way we used to talk in the 1930s, Noah.
Standish?
The London Times man of Berlin.
Yes, of course, he was quoting rumors mostly. Men drilling by night, underground meeting places, pagan rituals.
Do you believe him, Paul?
Well, anything's possible.
I'm sorry, sir, but I think it's ridiculous. Oh, there may be some fanatics, but no German in his right mind can still have a taste for war.
Do you know Germany, Mr. Rankin?
I'm sorry, I have a way of
making enemies when I'm on that subject. I get pretty unpopular.
Well, we shall consider it the objective opinion of an objective historian.
Historian? A psychiatrist could explain it better. The German sees himself as the innocent victim of world envy and hatred conspired against, set upon by inferior peoples, inferior nations. He cannot admit to error, much less to wrongdoing. Not the German. We chose to ignore Ethiopia and Spain, but we learned from our casualty list the price of looking the other way. Men of truth everywhere have come to know for whom the bell tolled, but not the German. He still follows his warrior gods, marching to Wagnerian strains, his eyes still fixed upon the fiery sword of Siegfried. And in those subterranean meeting places that you don't believe in, the German's dream world comes alive, and he takes his place in shining armor beneath the banners of the Teutonic Knights. Mankind is waiting for the Messiah, but for the German, the Messiah is not the Prince of Peace. He's another Barbarossa, another Hitler.
Well, then you have no faith in the reforms that are being effected in Germany.
Well, I don't know, Mr. Wilson. I can't believe that people can be reformed except from within. The basic principles of equality and freedom never have, never will take root in Germany. The will to freedom has been voiced in every other tongue. All men are created equal, liberté, égalité, fraternité, but in German...
There's Marx. Proletarians unite, you have nothing to lose but your chains.
But Marx wasn't a German, Marx was a Jew.
But, my dear Charles, if we concede your argument, there is no solution.
Well, sir, once again, I differ.
Well, what is it, then?
Annihilation. Down to the last babe in arms.
Oh, Charles, I can't imagine you're advocating a Carthaginian peace.
Well, as an historian, I must remind you that the world hasn't had much trouble from Carthage in the past 2,000 years.
Well, there speaks our pedagogue.
Speaking of teachers, Mr. Wilson.
Yes, yeah.
The faculty is coming for tea next Tuesday. If you have nothing better to do, would you like to join us?
I'd like to, but my work here is finished. I'm leaving Harper tomorrow.
Extraordinary, isn't it? Clocks being Mr. Wilson's hobby, too.
Yes, isn't it?
Well, Red, how do you like your new house?
He loves it. Come here, Red. I think I'll take you for a walk. Come here, boy.
Oh, darling, you don't have to take him out. Just let him out. He won't run off.
All right. I need the walk. I'm restless. Come on, boy.
That's good. How are you coming along?
I'll be in Washington tomorrow afternoon. You were right about Rankin. He's above suspicion. Give me long distance. I want Washington, D.C. Well, who but a Nazi would deny that Karl Marx was a German because he was a Jew?
I think I'll stick around for a while.
What is it, dear?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was dreaming about that little man.
What little man?
Oh, you know, dear, I told you about him. He came here the day we were married. Light me a cigarette, would you? I've never had a dream like that before. It frightened me. Thanks. You know, that little man was walking all by himself across a deserted city square. Wherever he moved, he threw a shadow. But when he moved away, Charles, the shadow stayed there behind him and spread out just like a carpet. Wish you could think who he might have been.
You're overtired.
Yes, perhaps. Here, dear, put this out, will you? What was that? Oh, that sounded like Red, Charles. What in the world's the matter with him?
I put him in the cellar.
Oh, darling, no wonder he's howling. He's never been locked up in his entire life.
Red is to live with us. He must be trained. At night, he will sleep in the cellar. In the daytime, he'll be kept on a leash.
Charles, I don't believe in dogs being treated like prisoners. Red's my dog.
Please, Mary. I know what's best.
You'd gone to live with your mistress.
Oh, Mary brought him home. Said he howls all night.
Oh. Oh, fishing any good in these parts?
Pretty fair. You like to come along?
I'm afraid I've got the wrong clothes on, but the fish probably won't mind. Thank you.
I'm just not lucky today, that's all. Would you like a candy bar?
Well, I don't mind if I do. Thank you. Oh. All your folks like fishing?
Oh, my dad's great. He always brings in something.
Well, what about Charles?
Charles? Oh. I have to call him Mr. Rankin at school. I get a little mixed up sometimes. He spends most of his time on the clock, you know.
Why don't you like him, Noah?
What do you mean?
Well, you don't like your brother-in-law. It's none of my business, but I wish you'd tell me why.
Well, I like him well enough. I don't know any reason why I shouldn't.
Don't tell me I'm butting in because I know I am, but I can't help myself. It's my business. I hate bringing you into this, Noah, but you're the only one I can turn to. I need your help very badly.
Well, what is it?
Your sister may be in great trouble. I know that you're man enough for what I'm going to ask you to do for her. The truth is, I'm not really an antique dealer. I'm sort of a detective.
Well, what do you want me to do, Mr. Wilson?
It would help me a lot if I knew every move Charles Rankin made on the day of his wedding, right up to the ceremony.
Well, I should be able to. Unless Charles realizes what I'm doing.
I'll keep him busy.
Gee, Mr. Wilson, you must be wrong. Mary wouldn't fall in love with that kind of a man.
I hope I am wrong, Noah, but that's the way it is. People can't help who they fall in love with.
Good evening, Mr. Potter. Good evening, Mr. Wilson. 85 cents. Here you and Professor Rankin aim to fix the clock.
That's right.
Figured to tell time rightly?
Mm-hmm.
And will the angel circle around the belfry? Is that a man or a woman angel, Mr. Wilson?
I don't know.
Well, reckon don't make much of a difference amongst angels.
Well.
Give up?
No. We'll play it out. That's my privilege, 25 cents.
Yeah.
So, by the way, did Mr. Rankin pick up his supper this evening?
No. He generally gets through up there about now.
Oh. Yes, I know.
Gets dark early these days.
Our little man never did pick up his suitcase, did he?
Nope.
Strange.
Ain't it, though? I've been tempted once or twice to look to see what's inside it. Ain't even locked.
Well, it seems to me that under the circumstances that you have a perfect right.
You do? Well, I wouldn't want to do it without a witness.
Oh, that's me.
It is? Well, that's all I wanted to know. I'm trying to look in that thing to see what's in here. Wonder what's in it.
Soil linen. Sweater. Soap and a razor wrapped in a towel with SS Cristobal written across it. Pair of old shoes.
Yeah.
Nothing but religious pamphlets.
Yep, that's all.
Good evening, Mr. Potter.
Oh.
Oh, hello, Mr. Wilson.
Potter? Mr. Wilson, hi.
You, Mr. Rankin.
Mr. Potter and I have been poking our noses into somebody else's business. That suitcase. Some chap left it here, and he never did call back.
That's been more than 2 weeks ago.
Did he say what he was doing in Hartford?
No, looked in the phone book, didn't telephone. Kind of funny looking he was. A scrawny little feller with big, starry blue eyes. Had a queer walk. Like any second, he might break into a run.
Did he have a foreign accent?
Why, yes, he did. But not so much of an accent as a foreign way of talking.
Do you happen to know who he could be, Mrs. Rankin?
Why, no. I was just trying to complete your mystery for you. Don't all foreign strangers have to have foreign accents?
Mary, have you seen Red?
Why, no. Not since I took him home to you a couple of days ago.
We've been spending all his time out in the woods, and he doesn't even come home for his meals.
But you told me he never ran away.
He never did.
Oh, that's why Noah's so anxious.
Come on, Mary.
Good night, Mr. Wilson.
Good night.
Night, Noah.
Night. able to find out anything?
Meineke did go to Rankin's house, and your sister did see him.
Did Mary say so?
She started to. Now, your sister is a fine woman, Noah, but she must find out the kind of man she's married to.
You don't know Mary. She wouldn't listen to anything against him, much less believe.
Noah, we must arrange it so that she finds out for herself. You understand? Yes. One thing's certain, she knows nothing now, nothing at all. Except that he didn't want her to admit having seen someone she did see. I'd give something to know what explanation he's making right now.
I was a student in Geneva. There was a girl. The night before I was to leave, we went out on the lake together. She told me unless I promised to marry her, she'd never return to shore. Well, I thought she was joking. Naturally, but she wasn't. Before I could stop her, she stood up in the boat. Well, I dived in after her, but it was too late. She was gone. Only one person knew we were on the lake together. Her brother. He knew I hadn't murdered her, but he told me he'd be willing to call it an accident for compensation. I gave him all I had and left Switzerland. As the years went by, I allowed myself to believe that the dead past really was dead. And then, on our wedding day, Mary, he appeared again. Her brother, the little man. I gave him all the money I had in the world. And he went away again.
Oh, darling. You should have told me. I've not carried this awful thing around by yourself.
You're a very wonderful person, Mary. I love you very much.
Oh, Charles. Why didn't he go back for his things?
Well, I suppose once he had money, he could afford better. Darling, I'm terribly nervous. I think I'll work up in the clock alone tonight by myself. It will calm me. You understand, don't you?
Of course I understand.
Shall I walk you home?
No, dear, there's no need for that.
It's pretty late.
That's all right. In Harper, there's nothing to be afraid of.
I love you.
Poor old Red. He heard my whistle, I'll bet. He couldn't bark or anything. He just crawled this far and died. Why do you think he died?
Well, let's go and find out.
That's young Longstreet's dog, Red. Looks like he's dead to me.
Yeah.
They're taking him up to Dr. Lawrence's office. Well, do you know anything about it? Wonder what in the world's the matter with him? Checkers?
No, thank you.
Coke's a nickel. Thank you, Mr. Rankin.
Doctor, how long could the dog have lived with that amount of poison in him?
Oh, not more than a minute or so, I'd say.
Well, then Red must have been poisoned within a few hundred yards of where you found him, Noah. And the latter part of the distance, he must have been moving slower and slower.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
Thanks, Jeff.
Mr. Peabody, would you please get that magazine rack in and hurry up about it?
Yes, Mr. Potter.
Hurry up about it. Move along and... afternoon, Mr. Wilson. Afternoon, Noah. Bring him right in there. Will you please? Bring right in.
What does the law say about this kind of murder? Is it the same as killing a man? It ought to be. It's just as bad.
Forepaws muddy. No mud on hind. Dry leaves mixed with the mud. Red must have been digging somewhere in the woods.
Have you any idea what for, Mr. Wilson?
A body, I think. Minor case.
The little man? Then...
Just caught me.
Anything wrong?
Wrong? Oh, you mean closing up like this?
Yeah.
Just going on a search. What you after?
Found a machine oil. What search?
For the body. State police deputized half the town. Just reach up there, fourth shelf.
One misses the news up in the clock tower. What body are they searching for?
I bet this fella left his bags here. Scrawny little duck. Unhappy looking. I knew he'd come to a bad end. That ought to be 15 cents, mister. Professor, I'll just put it on your account.
Oh, Sarah told me you're up here. Oh, why are you packing? Are we going somewhere?
We aren't, dearest. I am.
What are you talking about?
As a rule, men leave their wives because they don't love them, but I must leave you because I do. Oh, you won't object once you know the kind of man you married.
But you are the man I've married, and that's all that matters. Darling, I meant it when I said for better, for worse.
Even to killing Red.
You couldn't. It was an accident.
No, I meant to kill him. Murder can be a chain, Mary, one link leading to another until it circles your neck. Red was digging at the grave of the man I killed. Yes, your little man.
You killed him?
With these hands. The same hands that have held you close to me. Now, are you satisfied to let me go?
Why? Why did you do it?
I'd have given him all I had, but his dreams were far grander. He knew that your father was well-to-do. He knew that Justice Longstreet would be glad to protect his daughter from any scandal by paying a few $1,000s. Oh, Mary, I should have gone away and lost myself in a world where he could never find me, but I loved you, and I was weak.
Darling, if one of us goes, we'll both go. You would have shared half my trouble if I'd had any. Charles, what is there to connect you with that man?
Nothing, actually. You're the only one that knows I knew him.
Well, then you need have no fear. If I'm the only one who can speak.
But, Mary, in failing to speak, you become part of the crime.
But I'm already a part of it. Because I'm a part of you.
Yet you shuddered at the first touch of my hands as though it was the touch of death.
It's nerves. Oh, hold me close, Charles. Hold me close.
Mr. Peabody, you go back to town with the sheriff and open up the coroner's office.
Yes,
I knew
sir.
darn well it was the same feller. Of course, he's changed some. Being buried in the earth does it. Evening, Mr. Wilson.
Evening, Mr. Potter.
Evening, Noah.
Evening, Mr. Potter.
Mess, ain't it?
What do we do about Mary? We can't leave her alone with him now that we know.
Well, she realizes now that whatever story he told her about Meineke was false. Noah, I think your sister should be ready to hear the truth.
Charles. Will they make me look at the body?
I shouldn't think so.
Because I couldn't do it. I mean, I don't think I could say I've never seen a dead person.
Many are having to tea, Mary.
28 altogether, I think, dear.
You didn't eat nothing at dinner.
Isn't that
You'll
rather
be
a
fainting
lot?
again, Miss Mary.
28 for just you and Sarah?
No.
Oh, we'll manage all right.
But suppose I should...
Should what?
I don't know. I only know I'm terrified of seeing anybody or being seen.
Mary, you must get tight hold of yourself. If you're determined to go through with this thing, you must know beforehand exactly what you're going to do and say at all times. Perfect naturalness at all times. Now, darling, listen to me. Darling. I am prepared to go to the police.
It's your father, Miss Mary. He wants to talk to you.
Yes, thank you, Sarah. Hello? Yes, I think so. Just a minute and I'll see. He wants me to come over.
Did he ask me to?
He said he wanted to see me alone.
There's nothing unusual about a father wanting to see his daughter, is there? Is there?
No. All right, Adam, I'll be right over. Don't you think that's rather strange?
Strange? No, what's strange about it? Tell you what I'll do. I'll go over to the church and work on the clock while you're with your father. And you can by and pick me up later.
I'm so afraid. He was so pointed as wanted to see me alone, and his voice sounded so different.
And you know what you're going to say, don't you?
Come in, Mary.
Is something wrong?
Mr. Wilson is here on a very serious matter. We must try to help him every way possible. He wants to ask a few questions of you.
What do you want to know, Mr. Wilson?
You know about the body that was discovered yesterday, Mrs. Rankin.
Yes.
Did you ever meet the deceased?
No, I never met him.
Have you seen the body?
No.
Well, then, how can you be sure you never met him?
Of course, I can't be certain. Mr. Wilson, do you suspect me of something? If so, what?
Of shielding a murderer. Perhaps this photograph will refresh your memory. Do you recognize this man? That is Conrad Meineke, commander in charge of one of the more efficient concentration camps. You know him, don't you? You have met him here in Harper.
No. I've never seen that man, Mr. Wilson.
Judge, would you mind putting out the lights? I've been showing your father some films, and I'd like you to see them, too. I'm on the Allied Commission for the Punishment of War Criminals. It's my job to bring escaped Nazis to justice. It's that job that brought me to Harper.
Well, surely you don't think that... Mr. Wilson, I've I've never so much as even seen a Nazi.
Well, you might without you realizing it. They look like other people and act like other people when it's to their benefit. Gas chamber, Mrs. Rankin. The candidates were first given hot showers so that their pores would be open and the gas would act that much more quickly. And this is a lime pit in which hundreds of men, women, and children were buried alive.
Why do you want me to look at these horrors?
All this you're seeing, it's all the product of one mind. The mind of a man named Franz Kindler.
Franz Kindler?
Yes, he was the most brilliant of the younger minds of the Nazi Party. It was Kindler who conceived the theory of genocide, mass depopulation of conquered countries, so that regardless of who won the war, Germany would emerge the strongest nation in Western Europe, biologically speaking. Unlike Goebbels, Himmler, and the rest of them, Kindler had a passion for anonymity. The newspapers carried no picture of him. Oh, no, and just before he disappeared, he destroyed every evidence that might link him with his past, down to the last fingerprint. There's no clue to the identity of Franz Kindler, except one little thing. He has a hobby that almost amounts to a mania. Clocks.
So have lots of people. You yourself.
Well, I'm not quite finished, Mrs. Rankin. In prison, in Czechoslovakia, a war criminal was awaiting execution. This was Konrad Meineke, one-time executive officer for Franz Kindler. He was an obscenity on the face of the earth. The stench of burning flesh was in his clothes. But we gave him his freedom on the chance that he might lead me to Kindler. He led me here, Mrs. Rankin. And here I lost him. Until yesterday. Your dog Red found him for me. But unfortunately, Meineke was dead and buried. Now, in all the world, there's only one person who can identify Franz Kindler. That person is the one who knows definitely who Meineke came to harbor to see.
No, he's not a Nazi. My Charles is not a Nazi.
You were in Rankin's house during the afternoon of the day you were married.
Where?
Rankin's house.
Oh, yes, yes.
Did anyone come while you were there?
Not that I remember.
Now, try hard to remember. It's not so long ago. Only 2 weeks. You were hanging curtains.
No one came.
Were you alone all the time?
No.
Who else was there?
Charles. He came right after his last class, and we were together for more than an hour. You had nothing to link my husband with this man, Kindler, except a wild suspicion. It's a ridiculous suspicion. You're trying to use me to implicate him, and you can't. You can't involve me in a lie, and that's all it is a lie. It's a lie, you know. It's a lie. It's a lie.
Mary. Wait a minute, Mary.
Mary! Wait a minute, sister.
That's better.
You know that your welfare and Noah's means more to me than anything, don't you?
Yes.
You've got to face this thing with complete honesty, sister. Your entire happiness may well depend on your telling me the absolute truth. If Mr. Wilson is right, and you have innocently married a criminal, well, then there is no marriage. There's no call upon your loyalty as a wife.
He's good. He's good. He wouldn't hurt anybody except to protect somebody he loved. He's good.
Well, then the truth can't hurt him. Charles was not with you that afternoon, sister.
I remember you saying so when you came home.
You're against him too, Adam. Yes, you are. You've never liked him. That's why you don't believe me now. Leave us alone, Adam. He's not a Nazi. He's not one of those people. He's not. Leave us alone.
She has the facts now, but she won't accept them. They're too horrible for her to acknowledge. Not so much that Rankin could be Kindler, but that she could ever have given her love to such a creature. But we have one ally, her subconscious. It knows what the truth is and is struggling to be heard. The will to truth within your daughter is much too strong to be denied.
Look here, Wilson. If he's not Charles Rankin, we should be able to expose him without too much difficulty.
I'm not interested in proving that he isn't Charles Rankin. I'm only interested in proving that he's Franz Kindler.
How do you propose to do that?
Through your daughter. Unless I'm mistaken, she's headed for a breakdown. That's the usual result of a person being inwardly divided. Rankin will recognize this, and that's what I'm banking on.
What do you mean?
Well, he can't afford to trust a person approaching hysteria. He won't. He'll have to act. He may try to escape before she collapses, which would only be an admission of guilt. Or...
Go on.
He may kill her. You're shocked at my cold-bloodedness. Well, that's quite natural. You're a father. And it's because you are a father, Judge Longstreet, that I'm talking to you like this. Naturally, we'll try to prevent murder being done. However, the proof that murder is his aim would be the strongest evidence that your daughter could have.
Charles!
Listen, strike. For 100 years after more than...
It was a trap, Charles, just like you said. Mr. Wilson was there. He tried to tell me that you were a Nazi. And I was supposed to believe it. Imagine you being an escaped Nazi. Oh, he thinks he's very clever, that Wilson. His idea was to horrify me into telling him about the little man.
Who did he say he thought I was?
A Nazi. Franz Kindler. He made it all up just to trick me. But I didn't tell him anything, and I didn't tell Father anything. I outfaced both of them, Charles. It'll be simple enough to prove you're not that Nazi. We'll just find someone who was in your class at college, and he'll identify you, and that's all there'll be to it.
What you say is true. He can't touch me. I'm quite safe if you say nothing.
Oh, I won't, Charles. I promise I won't. They can torture him, and I won't tell them anything.
Look, signs of awakened Harper.
We must go down and greet them. You must act natural.
Yes.
Smile at them, you understand?
Yes.
Are you all right?
Yes, I'm all right. We'll face them, darling.
And when she struck that angel-starred marching, it was a sight to behold. Professor, you sure knocked it off. My hat's off to you.
Congratulations, Mr. Rankin.
Won't the rector be delighted?
What I want to know is, if she's going to chime all night long, how's the body going to get any sleep?
We'll face them, darling. All of them.
Them chickens of yours are going to be on and off the roost every 15 minutes.
That's a good one, Mr. Potter.
Sarah. Sarah, I've told you I want these curtains drawn. I don't like the sunlight streaming in. It's bad for them.
Mary, that's rubbish and you know it. Up at the other house, we never close the
That
curtains.
has nothing to do with it. This is my house, and I want them drawn.
Well, suit yourself, then. It's going to look mighty gloomy for the party.
Is it that time already?
Were you able to see when they opened the grave, Mr. Randall? Was
Yes.
it too horrible?
Well, not the most pleasant sight.
Oh, there's Mary. Hello, Mary.
Filling out prescriptions, that's part of this business of hate. Sleeping pills, that's another.
Mrs. Rankin.
$1.65.
Okay.
One wrap?
No, thanks.
Sleeping pills. Don't approve of them.
No?
Man does a day's work, man gets a night's sleep. Leastways he could until that clock starts bonging every few minutes.
I believe Mrs. Rankin ordered some ice cream. Didn't she?
Ice cream?
Yeah.
Already gone. Fella said he was going past your house, so I give it to him. Mr. Wilson.
Mrs. Rankin.
Wouldn't dream of setting foot outside the house unless Fred were along. Who knows? He might be anywhere. The murderer, I mean, waiting for a new victim.
I hope you haven't forgotten you were kind enough to invite me, Mrs. Rankin.
Oh, no, of course not, Mr. Wilson.
Mr. Potter asked me to deliver this.
Oh, the ice cream's good. Sarah's waiting for it.
I hope it hasn't melted. Well, I won't detain you any longer.
Yes.
I have a drink for you.
Oh, just the medicine I need.
You know Dr. Hippard?
Oh, yes, of course. How are you, Doctor?
Excuse me. Yes, sure. Grandma Lawrence, can I get you something?
Oh, nothing more, thank you, dear. He's too intelligent to do away with the residents of
Where's Dr. Rankin?
Oh, he'll be here in just a few minutes.
I want to have a word with him about that clock.
Yes. Oh, thank you, Bella.
committed 3 weeks ago.
Yes, on my last trip.
The butcher
May I get you some
black
tea?
at that time, and Jack the Ripper. And what was that Frenchman's name? Oh, hello, dear.
Hello.
Landru. Yes, there may well be 10 or a dozen graves out there in those woods.
Autopsy showed the murder was committed just 3 weeks ago.
May I get you
Full
some
moon,
more
wasn't
tea?
it?
Oh, thank you, no.
Jeff, may I get you another
I wish I
drink?
could remember what Emerson says about crime. Oh, there's Rankin. He may know.
Sorry to be late.
I'm fine,
thanks. Hello, everybody.
Darling.
Oh, hello there, Rankin.
How are you, Mr. Wilson?
You know the quotation?
The Hibbert?
Emerson?
Quotation?
Commit a crime and the earth is made of glass?
No, I don't.
Commit a crime and the earth is made of glass. Commit a crime. Commit a crime, and it seems as if a coat of snow fell on the ground, such as reveals in the woods the track of every partridge and fox and squirrel and mole. You cannot recall the spoken word. You cannot wipe out the foot track. You cannot draw up the ladder so as to leave no inlet or clue.
You're Mr. Wilson, aren't you? Do you know you're our #1 suspect in our murder case?
Oh?
So far, you're the only suspect. Potter put the finger on you. He thinks you committed the crime to get possession of some priceless antique.
Drink, Mr. Wilson?
Mr. Rankin, I wish you'd left that clock alone. Harper was a nice, quiet place until it started banging.
Mary, what's Wilson doing here?
I don't know.
You invited him, didn't you? What's he after?
I don't know.
Are you all right?
Yes, quite all right.
Now remember, Friday, Mary.
Yes, all right.
Good night.
Friday. Good night.
May I help you, dear?
No.
Mary.
No.
Mary. It's all right, dear. It's all right.
It broke, and the beads fell all over the floor. He took her upstairs. When I left, I could still hear her crying.
Well, the floodgates have opened. Our subconscious is almost won. From now on, we must know every move that Mrs. Rankin makes. She's never to leave the house unless I know where she's going. If for any reason I can't be found, she's to be detained, no matter on what pretext.
Understand, Sarah?
Don't worry. She won't get by me.
When she snapped those beads, she signed her own death warrant. We're carrying her life in our hands. Every time she walks on a slippery sidewalk, is near something that can fall, drives an automobile, anything that could result in accidental death, her life is in danger.
Yes, Judge. She won't get by me.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon, sir.
Today we will attempt to finish with the career of Friedrich the Grosser, König von Preußen, Kurfürst von Brandenburg, Prince von Poland. Frederick the Great to you. 863.
85 cents.
Hello?
Oh, Mary. Mary, this is Charles. Can you hear me, dear? I can't speak very loudly where I am, but I want you to understand this. Something very important has come up. You must come to the church immediately. The church tower. Understand?
Yes, I understand.
I don't want anybody to know that you're going there. Mary, don't tell anybody you're going. Go to the church tower and leave your car in the rear and come in through the back door. Okay? Right.
Anybody?
They're coming.
Well,
They're coming. Yes, sir.
Stack that wood down there with the rest of them, then get back to work.
Yes, sir.
What's that, Mr. Peabody? Your move, Professor.
Going someplace? Where to? Well, I asked you where you was going, Miss Mary.
I heard.
Well?
Sarah, you seem to forget I'm no longer a child. I'm a married woman.
Well, you ain't been married very long. Wait, Mrs. Rankin.
What is it? I'm in a hurry.
Well, you don't need to go biting my head off.
What is it, Sarah?
Well, I don't...
If you've got something to say, say it. What is it, Sarah?
I don't know what's got into you lately. Indeed, I don't. You never was mean to me like this back at the old house.
Sarah,
Maybe I've outworn my usefulness. I'm not as young as I used to be. Maybe you don't want me around anymore.
For heaven's sake, stop talking such nonsense.
Well, it's true, and you know it. I'm going to pack my things and leave here. Indeed, I am.
Sarah, I'm sorry if I've hurt your feelings. I didn't mean to. Really, I didn't. Sarah. Now, I couldn't get along without you, and you know that, don't you? Well, don't you?
Honest, Miss Mary?
Yes, honestly, Sarah.
Oh, Miss Mary. Oh, Miss Mary.
Sarah, please, wait just a minute. Sarah, you'll never leave me, will you?
You know how I feel about you, don't you?
Yes, I do.
It's like you was my own daughter,
Yes,
my own little girl. How could I?
Sarah, I've got to go now. Really, I do. I promised to be somewhere.
Well, where to, Miss Mary?
Stop fussing, Sarah. It's a secret.
Oh, Miss Mary!
What's the matter? Sarah, what's the matter?
My heart.
What's the matter?
I can't breathe. Pain. Oh, no, Miss Mary, please don't leave me. No, don't leave me.
Lie right there and keep quiet. Keep quiet now, Sarah.
Maybe I'm dying.
You're
Miss
not
Mary.
dying.
Stay with me.
I won't leave you. 130, please.
Yes, Mary?
Look, I was supposed to meet Charles at the clock tower right away, and I can't get there. Will you go and tell him to please wait for me? And no one's to know where or why you're going. It's important.
All right. "238, please. Hello, may I speak to Mr. Wilson?
Looks like it's coming up for snow.
Yes, that's right.
Mrs. Rand, Mrs. Lundstrom? Isn't it after hours? You ladies are working too hard at the library.
Oh, no, Mr. Rankin. We closed as usual at 3:30.
You're perfectly right. I dismissed class 10 minutes early. Yes. It's 3:44. I was playing checkers with Mr. Potter, and I didn't realize.
You know what you are, Mr. Rankin. You're the absent-minded professor.
Oh, no. Say nice.
Lucky today.
I am.
You sure are.
Good afternoon, Mr. Potter.
Afternoon, Mr. Hill.
I'm sorry, Mr. Potter, I can't find him.
What?
The earmuff.
It's right over there by the mittens.
Come on, Mr. Potter, help us look.
Well, I'll be right back in a minute, Professor. Right over there by that box where I told you there was.
Those?
Yeah, the latest thing out.
How much do you want for
85 cents.
Well, that's an awful lot.
Well, they come high this year. You want this thing?
Well, I'll keep it. You know, Mr. Potter, you're a bad influence. I intended only to spend a couple of minutes. You made me spend the whole afternoon. Look what time it is.
Yeah. I'd like to get even.
It's your move.
You really had the wind up.
Golly.
You can still smell the glue where you joined it.
Look there, Professor. Like I told you, it's coming up for snow. Look here, Professor. Double or nothing?
Afternoon, Mr. Potter.
Afternoon, Professor.
Charles?
He didn't go to the church.
No, Sarah.
Sarah? What about Sarah?
Well, just as I was leaving, Sarah had some kind of an attack. She's resting now, yes. And Jeff said it wasn't very serious, but that I should stay with her.
Mm-hmm.
What's the matter, Charles?
Nothing's the matter.
Then why did you want me to go to the church? You said it was important.
It was important. Nothing actually. It's my sense of proportion is failing me these days.
Please, Charles, what is it?
I'm sorry. I've just begun to feel the strain. You see, I have my weak moments, too. I'll tell you in my own good time.
They found out anything more?
No, nothing. There's nothing to find out, unless you.
No, I haven't seen anybody all day. I've been in my room.
There's a rumor going around that there's an arrest to be made. My headaches. The incident of the beads yesterday made me doubt your strength. I thought maybe you'd gone to your father and told him something. If you had...
You didn't have to be afraid.
No?
Why did you tell Noah?
Why, what about?
Didn't you see him?
No, why should I see Noah?
Well, did you come here directly from the church?
Am I being cross-examined?
Well, no, but when I found I couldn't leave Sarah, I called Noah and told him to go there and tell you I was detained.
I told you not to call anybody.
Oh, but surely Noah...
Call him and tell him not to go.
Well, I can't. I talked to him over...
Call him, I say!
He's gone!
If he dies, his blood will be on your hands.
What are you saying?
It's your meddling that's done this. I'd have been all right if it wasn't for you. After that, you had to be here. On that day.
Rolling Noah!
Did you kill Noah?
Yes, if he goes to the church and climbs up that ladder!
It was I you intended to kill, wasn't it?
No.
Why wasn't it I? Franz Kindler! Kill me. Kill me, I want you to. I couldn't face life knowing what I've been to you and what I've done to Noah. But when you kill me, don't put your hands on me. Here. Use this.
Mary.
Operator. Operator, get me the state police. Yes, the roadblocks are up. We're watching the railroad station, and he isn't hiding in the woods. Well, if he is what I think he is, it's going to be easy. We'll do everything possible to bring him back.
She's gone, Mr. Wilson. She's not in the house.
Clock tower?
I don't know.
Well, if that's what he's hiding, if she gets there before us...
What'll we do?
Call Captain Samuels and the deputies. Get all the help you can.
Where?
The church.
What about you?
I'll get there. Now, hurry up now. What do your sister may be still alive?
You don't need it. I'm alone.
What are you doing here?
Lift me up.
You're telling the truth?
Why should I lie?
You were followed here?
I came by our way. Through the cemetery. No one saw me. I needed the excuse. I was afraid you wouldn't let me out.
What do you want?
I came to kill you.
It's you that's going to die. You were meant to fall through that ladder. You're going to fall.
I don't mind if I take you with me.
You are a fool. I searched the woods. I watched them. Here, like God, looking into the lands. I'll hide in the woods. They won't search there again. A day or two, they'll be sure I got out of town.
When they find me, they'll know you're still here.
But, darling, you're on the verge of a breakdown. Now you've cracked. Why else would you leave your bed? Climb to an empty church tower in the dead of night. Any child could see you'd wind up killing yourself.
Killing is what led you here. It won't help you now. Look out the window. Look!
Well, that's an old trick, Mr. Wilson. A very poor trick.
Tricks. That's all you know is tricks. I don't need any tricks. No matter what happens to me, tricks won't do you any good. You're finished, Herr Franz Kindler. The citizens of Harper. They've come after you. The plain little ordinary people, the ones you've been laughing at, Herr Franz Kindler. Well, you can't fool them anymore. Oh, sure, you can kill me, Mary, half the people down there. But there's no escape. You had the world and it closed in on you till there was only Harper. That closed in on you and there was only this room. And this room, too, is closing in on you.
It's not true, the things they say I did. It's all their idea. I followed orders.
You gave the orders.
I only did my duty. Don't send me back to them. I can't face them. I'm not a criminal.
You are.
No, thanks.
Hi, what happened?
V-Day in Harper.
Don't get that. Come on down.
No, not until you get me a new ladder. I've had my ankle busted and my head conked. From here on in, my friends, I'm taking it easy.
Well, I'll get you another ladder, Mr. Wilson. You've had enough trouble.
Good night, Mary. Pleasant dreams.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Something different for a change? Then try the perfect refreshment, Chili Dilly, A delicious pickle treat that's spiced just right for every bite. Economical, too. There's no waste. You eat every bit of the juicy goodness of Chili Dilly. How about trying one right now? Chili Dilly. On sale at our concession stand. You'll love 'em.
Like you crave that corn when it's freshly bobbed, you gotta beat it to the box with the butter on the top. Get with it, man, start strolling down to the sweets that set you rolling, the best in town. Our candy's real gone, if I'm understood. To all you squares, that means the confection is positively delicious. Cork that stuff, give me 5, let me send you into this nutty jive. Go, man, go! It ain't very far. Shake it on down to this cool snack bar. Come on, Jill, give us a treat. A friendly pepper-upper with a tasty beat.
Drink Dr. Pepper, Dr. Pepper, 'cause it never lets you down.
Frosty, man, frosty.
Well, boys, I hate to break up a good party, but you can't keep a woman waiting, can you? You know how it is, boys.
I bet we do, Mr. Hogarth. That's right, J.J.
I'll say you can't, J.J.
I can see you all understand, all right. Well, believe you me, boys, I've had the time of my life tonight. And speaking of time, I have here a 14-carat, 17-jewel timepiece. And that's only right, because the man I'm giving it to is a 14-carat, 17-jewel cashier. Pass it along to him, boys.
Oh, that's a beautiful watch, J.J.
Oh, wonderful.
He deserves it. So, Billy, beautiful watch.
Chris?
He deserves it, too.
Read what's engraved inside, Chris.
To my friend Christopher Cross, in token of 25 years of faithful service, from J.J. Hogarth, 1909-1934.
Speed! Speak up, Chris, speak up. Come on, Chris, speed.
Well, I hardly know what to say, J.J. This, why, it's beautiful. I never expected to own a watch like this. No, sir, well, all I can say is that we've got the best boss in New York.
For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny.
Congratulations, old boy, congratulations.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, my old friend. God bless you.
Thank you.
Have a smoke before I go.
Well, I don't usually, J.J.
Go ahead and try it. It's made special for me. $1 a piece. Here, Charlie. Oh, thanks.
Thank you.
You're not superstitious, are you, Chris?
No, sir, no, sir.
Now, don't break up a good party just because I've got to go. Everything is charged to J.J.
Oh, that's very nice of you, boy. Very nice of you.
So drink all you want. Only don't come in late Monday morning with a hangover.
Oh, don't worry, we won't. We'll be right there on time.
Well, good night, boys.
Good night, boys. Thanks again for a small party. Let's see now, what's that? This beautiful dress.
Oh, boy, aren't you a lucky I'll treasure this for the rest of my life.
I'll bet you will.
Really, I never expected to own anything.
Hey, fellas, look. Look, come here. Hurry. Get a load of that dame. That's JJ's wife. The boss is stepping out.
Say, if I had to do he's got, I'd step out too. I feel a little laundry tonight.
Nothing like the smell of spring.
Which way do you go, Chris?
Well, I guess I'll take the East Side subway. Gets me to Brooklyn a little quicker. Hey, you haven't got an umbrella. Now, I'll take you to your bus.
Oh, no, that's out of your way.
Oh, I don't mind walking, fresh air, spring. Hey, I'm a little drunk.
Well, never mind. I'll catch the next one. You go on over to the subway.
Oh, I don't mind waiting. I feel kind of lonely tonight. Say, Charlie, you suppose J.J. is running around with that young lady?
It looks that way.
I wonder what it's like.
What, Chris?
Well, to be loved by a young girl like that. Nobody ever looked at me like that. Not even when I was young.
Yes, when we're young, we have dreams that never pan out, but we go on dreaming.
When I was young, I wanted to be an artist. I dreamt I was going to be a great painter someday. So, I'm a cashier.
Do you still paint?
Yeah, every Sunday.
Well, that's one way to kill time. Sunday's one day of the week that I don't like. I never know what to do with myself.
Well, why don't you come over tomorrow and see me?
Thanks, Chris. I'll do that. Good night, Chris.
Good night, Charlie. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, good night.
Stopped raining.
Yeah, half hour ago.
Oh, which way is it to the East Side subway?
Round the corner, past the L, 4 blocks.
Oh, thank you, officer. I guess I got turned around. These streets are all mixed up in Greenwich Village.
Yeah.
Is he hurt?
I'll go call a policeman.
No, wait! Wait!
Officer!
Where'd they go?
In that direction.
What does he look like?
I don't know.
I didn't see his face.
He took $15. He didn't believe it was all I had, so he began pushing me around. Then this gentleman ran in and knocked him down.
That's right, officer. He was right there.
I couldn't hold him. He got up and ran.
Wait here.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Well, we have to wait for the officer.
I don't want to get my name in the newspaper, do you?
Well, the newspaper?
Sure, we'll have to get out of the station house and make a complaint. And every time they make an arrest, they send detectives to your house for weeks. Oh, it's a nuisance. Won't you take me home?
Why, yes. Sure, that is, if you think that...
Well, here's where I live. Oh, I'm sorry I can't ask you to come up, but I share my apartment with another girl, Millie. Good night, and thanks for everything.
Don't you want a cup of coffee?
All right.
Hello, Kitty.
Hello, Tiny. Oh, this is Mr.
Cross. Glad to know you, Mr. Cross. Oh, how do you do?
You seen Johnny?
No, not since he left here. 2 coffees, please.
Oh, I think I'll change my mind. I could stand a drink. A rum Collins.
1 rum Collins? Yes.
Oh, come on. Keep me company.
Well, you see, I've already had a good deal of champagne.
You want champagne?
Oh, no. Make mine the same. Ever since I first saw you, I was wondering what your name was. Kitty.
It's really Catherine. Catherine March. My friends call me Kitty. What do your friends call you?
Chris.
Chris Cross. Chris Cross.
Yes, the boys tease me about it, but I don't mind.
Why are you looking at me? Is my face dirty?
It's beautiful.
I'll bet it is. Ah, gee, I'm a sight.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Cheers, Chris.
Miss March.
Kitty.
Yes, Miss... Kitty. Look, Kitty. Since I'm old enough to be your father...
You're not so old.
You don't think so?
Well, you're not a boy. You're just, mature. I like mature people.
Well, what I wanted to say was, you shouldn't be alone in the street so late at night.
I was coming home from work.
You work this late?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
Guess.
You're an actress.
Oh, you are clever. Now that you know all about me, tell me about yourself. What do you do?
Well, you see...
No, don't tell me. You work in a bank?
No.
Well, let's see. Greenwich Village is full of artists. I meet you in Greenwich Village. You must be an artist, right?
Well, yes, I paint.
Of course, you're a painter. I love paintings. To think I took you for a cashier. You know those art galleries on Fifth Avenue? The prices they charge. I saw one little picture that cost $50,000. They call it a Cézanne.
Cézanne. Oh, he was a great French painter. I'd like to own that painting.
You would?
Mm.
For $50,000?
Well, you can't put any price on masterpieces like that. They're worth, well, whatever you can afford to pay for them.
You know what, Chris? I bet I saw some of your pictures there and didn't know it. Next time I'll look for your name.
Oh, no. I don't sell my pictures.
Well, not in New York, you mean?
No,
I know. I bet you sell your pictures in Europe, France, or someplace like that. You can tell I don't know much about painting. I bet you get as much for your pictures in France as those Frenchmen get right here in New York.
Mm.
And you never appreciate it in your own country.
Well, that's one way of looking at it. But you know, when I paint, I don't think of money. I just paint for fun.
Fun?
Yes, I think it's the most fun I know, painting. I wish I had all the time to paint.
But don't you have time?
Oh, no. Well, yes. You see, well, you know, business takes a lot of time.
No wonder when you get all that money.
Well, what play are you acting in?
It closed tonight.
Which one?
The one I was in. What time is it?
Oh. It's only 2:10.
Only? Oh, it's time for Kitty to be in bed.
So you won't forget me.
Thank you. Can't I see you again?
Oh, sure, sometime.
Well, if you'll give me your telephone number.
I haven't got a phone.
Well, may I write you?
That's the address. Good night, Chris.
Kitty, who's Johnny?
Why do you ask that?
Well, I just heard you ask the bartender.
Oh, sure. He's just a fellow I know. He's Millie's boyfriend. You know, the girl I live with. Good night, Chris.
Good night, Kitty. Yes, Adele. Well, this is a pleasure. I didn't expect to see you, Charlie.
But, Chris, you asked me.
My wife. Well, it's good to see you anyway. Hey, that was a swell party last night, wasn't it, Charlie? Say, what time would we go home? After midnight, wasn't it? You know, I haven't been to bed yet.
You haven't?
I guess I'm not as old as I thought I was, eh, Charlie?
No.
Oh, I've got to do the dishes for Adele. You don't mind, Charlie, do you?
No. Go right ahead. Say, did you paint this?
Great Scott, no. That isn't painting, that's mud, done by a photographer.
Who is it?
The late departed.
Oh, your wife's former husband.
Detective Sergeant Higgins. Homer Higgins.
Say, that's a real medal, isn't it?
Yeah. Adele got it.
Your wife?
Yeah. After he was drowned in the East River. Jumped in to save a woman. Neither body was found.
Oh. Too bad.
Yeah. Too bad. Oh, thank you, Charlie.
That's all. How long have you been married, Chris?
5 years. Well, she didn't want to spend his insurance money, and so she rented out the spare room. Only $4 a week. Well, I was trying to save money to buy paints, and so I moved in. Oh, she was sweet. But I wouldn't melt in her mouth. And, well, you know how these things go.
Smoke?
Oh. I guess it went out, huh?
Where are your paintings, Chris?
They're out in the hall. Would you like to see what I did today?
Yes, I'd like to. Where did you find a flower like that? You mean you see this when you look at that?
Well, yes. That is, I sort of feel it. You see, when I look at that flower, I see someone who...
Isn't there anything private in this house?
I'm sorry, Adele. We better get out of here. All right, Adele.
Can't you get those lazy legs off that couch, baby?
Come here. Can't you do any better than that?
That's all you think about, lazy legs, hmm?
What else is there to think about?
If you want more heat in this apartment, miss, you'll have to call a janitor.
You idiot.
How come you're holding out on me, baby?
Oh, stop talking about Saturday night.
I'm not talking about Saturday night. I'm talking about this. Sounds like a schoolboy trying to make a date. You must be robbing the cradle. What's so funny?
You are. He's old enough to be my father. That's the old fellow who came to my rescue Saturday night. My hero.
No kidding.
See? You were too tight to remember anything. If I hadn't told the cop to go in the wrong direction, he'd have picked you up.
This the old fellow who butted in?
Mm-hmm.
The painter?
He's rich and famous and very sweet, too, Johnny. He doesn't pull any rough stuff like you.
Well, I had a chance to clean up in a crap game. All I needed was $50. And what did you show up with? 15, for cat's sake.
That's all I had. Besides, you kept me waiting 2 hours in the rain.
And then you gave me a dirty look.
I didn't give you a dirty look.
Listen, any girl who waits 2 hours in the rain for a guy is gonna give him a dirty look. Trouble with you, baby, is you have no imagination.
What do you expect me to do?
I expect you to use your brains. But for cat's sake, this chump is crazy about you. This is a setup. He's in the big money, isn't he? You said 50,000 a picture, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, here I am, knocking my brains out, trying to raise a little capital, and this is right in your lap. You don't have to call, what's his name, and get him easily 50. This bird is goofy about you. Write him. Date him up.
Oh, I can't take money off an old man like that.
For cat's sake, get big-hearted and smart, lazy legs. Why, I see fellas in the big dough without half my brains, but ability isn't enough. You gotta have money to make money. Capital. Now, the boys at the Acme garage will cut me in on a half interest if I can put up the money.
How much do they want?
Oh, 3,000 or 4,000.
Yikes.
Well, for cat's sake, I'm not talking about chicken feed. Use your imagination. You get an interest in a business like that, and it's a cinch to squeeze out your partners. Then you're on Easy Street.
Jeepers, the pipe dreams you have.
Now, what about the letter?
Oh, I can get 50 or 100 perhaps, but I can't get the kind of money you're talking about. I wouldn't know how. Johnny? Johnny, where are you going?
Well, I won't be wasting my time.
Johnny? Johnny? Oh, I don't know why I'm so crazy about you.
Oh, yes, you do. Now, what about my proposition? You don't have to tap the old chump for much, not at first. We'll get you a decent apartment, someplace where I like to come and see you, not a dump like this. Well, Lazy Legs?
May I come into my own apartment?
Hello, funny face.
Why don't you just move in, Johnny, then I can move out.
Now, Millie, stop picking on my fiancée.
How do you spell that word?
With an F, like in funny face. She pays half the rent, doesn't she?
Well, that was a general idea, Big Shot, and we signed the lease.
Well, I don't mind if you want this place to yourself. Do you, baby?
What's he mean by that?
Oh, nothing. You know Johnny.
Yeah, I know Johnny all right. Has he bought you that engagement ring yet?
Oh, you seem to worry more about it than I do.
The new $45 model. Old Rogers let me have it for $18. Bet he made a profit at that.
I thought you were modeling girdles for the catalog.
I have been. Oh. I ache like a dog. Of course it's ever come back. I swear I'll quit modeling. Why don't you go back to work? With that figure, if you weren't so darn lazy.
Who do you think you are? My guardian angel?
Not me, honey. I lost those wings a long time ago.
That's what I thought.
No wonder you got fired. You're so darn snippy. You never could get to work on time after you met that Johnny. Honey, what's happened to you?
Don't you wish it could happen to you? I'm in love. Crazy in love.
With a man that pushes you around the way I wouldn't push a cat around.
You leave Johnny out of this.
With your looks and figure, you could get any man you want.
Sure. But there's only one I want.
Yeah, and he's making a tramp out of you.
You wouldn't know love if it hit you in the face.
If that's where it hit you, you ought to know.
That robin sings just like I feel. Hey, look, there's a pair of them up there. They're building their nest.
Say, where'd you learn that?
Oh, when I was a kid. Yeah, I bet I haven't done that in 40 years. Yeah, I feel like a kid myself today.
Sold any pictures lately? Why don't you paint my picture?
I'd like to. Could I bring my easel to your apartment?
Oh, I'm afraid my girlfriend wouldn't like that. How long does it take you to paint a picture?
Well, sometimes a day, sometimes a year. You can't tell. It has to grow.
I never knew paint could grow.
Feeling grows. You know, that's the important thing, feeling. Well, now, you take me. Well, nobody ever taught me how to draw, so I just put a line around what I feel when I look at things.
Yeah, I see.
It's like falling in love, I guess. You know, first you see someone, and then it keeps growing, and until you can't think of anyone else.
That's interesting.
Well, the way I look at things, that's all art is. Every painting, if it's any good, is a love affair.
I never heard anyone talk like that before.
Oh, well, there aren't many people you can talk to this way. So you keep it to yourself. You walk around with everything bottled up.
Yeah, that's right. That's the way it is with me, too. I'm sort of keeping things bottled up, too, Chris. The truth is, I'm in a jam.
You, Kitty?
Oh, you probably guessed it. I'm broke. Even this dress belongs to Millie. I can't pay my rent.
Well, how much is it?
Oh, forget it. I shouldn't have told you. It'll spoil your day.
Oh, but Kitty...
I'll get out of it somehow. I couldn't take anything from you, Chris.
No. Yes, I mean...
No, I couldn't. I've never taken money from a man, and I'm not going to now. And I'm not going to spoil our friendship.
Oh, but Kitty,
I couldn't pay you back.
Oh.
Chris, maybe I could pay you back. If you put up the money for a studio apartment, then I'd have a place to live and you could paint there. Don't you see? You could paint my portrait. What's the matter? Don't you want to paint my picture?
There's something I've got to tell you, Kitty.
What?
I deceived you. I lied. I'm a married man, Kitty.
Why didn't you tell me, Chris? You know I'm not the kind of girl to run around with a married man, don't you? You know what you said about meeting someone, how you begin to like them, and then you can't think about anybody else? You should have told me you had a wife, Chris.
Yes, but I'm not in love with her, Kitty.
Well, you married her.
Well, I was lonely. I couldn't stand my loneliness.
Poor Chris.
Well, then you're not angry with me?
I suppose I ought to be, but I'm not. Not with you, Chris. And I'm going to let you help me.
Well, how much do you need?
$500.
I need $500. I could pay it back $10 a week.
That's all right, Mr. Cross. But you'll have to have a co-signer.
Thank you, no.
Property owner.
Property owner?
Just a formality.
Thank you very much.
Anytime.
Well, why can't that old skinflint Hogarth give you a raise? You don't even make enough money to buy me a radio. I have to run downstairs every night to listen to the radio. The way I have to scrimp and save and you wasting money on paints. I'd like to know what you'd do without me. Poor dear Homer. If only he had a grave where I could put some flowers. Why, you couldn't even ask me to marry you. I had to put the words into your mouth. I'd have been better off a widow. The only reason I put up with you is because I'm married to you. I'm stuck.
Yes, and I'm stuck, too.
Have you been drinking?
No, I haven't.
Let me smell your breath. No. Then what's the matter with you? Why are you shouting at me?
Well, you keep blaming me for not buying you a radio.
But you think I like running downstairs every night to listen to the radio?
Well, why don't you buy a radio? You have money.
His insurance money?
Well, I don't want a radio. You want it.
I'll never touch those bonds. They're for my old age. If Homer were alive, I'd have a radio. He made a good salary. He gave me a good home.
Well, you're living in the same apartment, aren't you?
Yes, but it didn't smell of paint. I can't sleep with the smell of paint. And all your silly pictures cluttering up the hall. If you don't get rid of that trash, I swear I'll give it to the junk man.
Adele.
I will. I swear I will. And the things you paint. It was bad enough when you used to copy picture postcards.
Well, Utrillo copies postcards, and he's considered a great painter.
And now I suppose you're copying Utrillo, or whatever his name is. They're getting crazier all the time. Oh, yes. I saw what you're doing. Girl, reptiles, snakes. Next thing you'll be painting women without clothes.
I never saw a woman without any clothes.
I should hope not.
The happy household hours, just coming on, dear.
I'll be right down, Dora. Mr. Cross came home late. Go ahead and eat, and then do the dishes.
This is the Happy Household Hour, brought to you at this time by Happy Hour Bubble Suds. No soap gives you more happiness, more washings, and more suds per package than Happy Hour Bubble Suds. Ask your nearest grocer for the large economy-size package today. And now for the next episode of Hilda's Hope for Happiness. As you remember, we left Hilda in the laundry washing her with Bubble Suds, Hilda.
Christopher! Christopher! What are you doing?
I was looking for the paper.
Are you blind?
Oh. Well, didn't you like the radio?
It went off right in the middle of a program. I wouldn't have such a radio.
Hey, did you read this?
Read what?
This murder in Queens. A man killed his wife with a window weight, put a body in the trunk and shipped it to California. It says here...
I've read the paper, thank you. He didn't get away with it, did he? He'll go to the chair, as he should.
Yeah. Man hasn't got a chance with these New York detectives.
Can't you put that paper down and do the dishes?
Adele, you didn't mean what you said about giving my paintings away to the junk man.
You'll find out.
Well, you won't have to. A friend of mine is taking an apartment in Greenwich Village. I'll move everything there.
Well, if he's fool enough to let you do it, go ahead. The sooner the better.
Yeah.
Top floor, you'll get plenty of light, lots of privacy. You've heard of Tony Rivera, the illustrator? He had this apartment on a 3-year lease. Couldn't work anywhere else. This was his studio. The sketches on the wall are Rivera's. He'd do that with his models sometimes when he was working on a magazine cover. Some people pay a lot of money for those. Are you an artist, Miss March?
Uh-huh. Where's the bedroom?
Oh, this way.
What's the rent, Mr. Jones?
Oh, $150. Oh, there are some things that Rivera left here stored in the basement. They go with the apartment if you care to use them. Here you are. Bedroom.
I don't like the wallpaper.
Will they change the paper?
I guess so, on a year's lease.
I'll pick it out myself. Well, don't break the bank.
Hello, Lazy Legs.
Oh, I thought I heard the doorbell. I didn't hear anything.
Say, is this all you've got?
I'm lucky I have that left the way you were throwing it around last night.
You even bought me a book, honey.
You're supposed to be an actress, aren't you?
Shakespeare, for Pete's sake. Say, that's all I have left.
You know where to get more, don't you, Lazy Legs?
Told me he hadn't sold any pictures for a long time. And I'm in hock for all this.
Look, Kitty. I need at least $1,000.
Ouch!
Well, you got him softened up. Now, push him around a bit.
He seems to get scared when I talk about money.
Listen, baby, you got him right where you want him. He's on the hook and can't get off.
He can walk out, can't he?
He's got a wife, hasn't he? Just drop a hint that his wife might find out about this apartment and he'll shell out fast.
That's blackmail.
It's only blackmail, baby, when you're dumb enough to get caught. Is that him?
Told you I heard the doorbell.
For cat's sake, get rid of him.
Don't you answer doorbells?
Thought you were mad at me.
Peace offering. Scotch.
Thanks, honey.
I didn't think you were out. It's only 12:10. I rang downstairs and then I found the door was open. Well. You're doing all right for a working girl.
Now, don't start that again.
Don't tell me he's under the sofa, too.
No, Bright Eyes.
You can come out, Johnny.
All you have to do is call, funny face. Oh.
You must have made a killing in Wall Street, Mr. Prince.
Could be.
Last time I saw Johnny, he was talking about going to Hollywood.
I might try it yet. Why, I read in a movie magazine about a fellow who landed in Hollywood stone broke and cleaned up $1 million. No experience either. All he had was looks. And he worked in a drugstore.
If he worked, Johnny, he didn't look like you.
Oh, you two stop fighting.
I'm not fighting, baby. She just doesn't know my speed. Why, here are movie actors getting $5,000, $10,000 a week. For what? For acting tough. For pushing girls in the face. What do they do I can't do?
You're so clever, why don't you do it?
I might, funny face. I might.
Chris!
I brought over some of my things, Kitty. I'll bring some more tomorrow. The rest on Saturday. Oh, you have company.
Just Millie and Johnny.
Sure.
You know, Millie's boyfriend. Come on, I want you to meet them. Millie, this is a friend of mine, Mr. Cross, Miss Ray.
How do you do, Miss Ray?
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Cross.
And Johnny Prince.
Glad to know you, Mr. Cross.
How do you do? Seems to me I've seen you before somewhere.
Could be, Mr. Cross.
Yes, I just don't seem to remember. Maybe I'm mistaken.
Could be.
Well, I'll have to run along, kid.
I'll go with you, sweetheart.
Oh, don't bother, Johnny.
I wouldn't think of letting you go alone, darling. You might get run over by a streetcar. Goodbye, Mr. Cross.
Bye.
Nice to see you.
Thanks for the scotch, Millie.
That's okay. Bye.
Come on, Kitty.
So long, Johnny. Now, what's the matter, Chris?
I don't think I like that young man she's in love with.
Oh, Johnny's all right.
Oh, I know he is, or he wouldn't be a friend, but there's something about him that...
She's crazy about him.
Would you like to see my pictures?
Not yet. Come sit down, Chris. You happy?
For the first time in my life.
Very happy?
I think of you all the time. All I want is to see you, be near you. I know I haven't any right to ask you this, but have you ever... Well, there must have been other men who...
Just one, Chris.
You still see him?
I've forgotten him.
Look, Kitty, if I were single, if I had no wife...
But you have a wife.
Yes, I know, but if she'd... well, if something would happen that would make me free, would you marry me?
Oh, let's not talk about it now, dear. What I'm worried about is getting a job. Living like this, it's expensive. I don't like to ask you for anything more because, well, you say you haven't sold any pictures lately.
Yes, but don't you have enough money?
No, you have no idea what a problem money is for an actress, Chris. Talent doesn't count in the theater. Everything is pull, contacts, knowing the right people. You have to get an agent. They charge plenty. Wear smart clothes. Be attractive.
Oh, but Kitty, you're beautiful.
Ah, Chris. Your face doesn't mean a thing. It's clothes, perfumes, making the right impression. Why, an actress needs $1,000 just to get a decent wardrobe.
$1,000?
At least. Maybe I can borrow it from Millie. Or her boyfriend, Johnny. He's got plenty of money.
Oh, no. No, Kitty. Not from Johnny.
Why not?
Well, I'll get you the money some way.
Chris, you're a darling. I really believe you're in love with me.
I am, Kitty. I am.
Chris, you're a caveman. I like you to like me, but, well, there's a limit.
Yes, I know. Well, I've got to go. I'm supposed to be back. I'll come here tomorrow noon, Kitty.
I'll be waiting for you. I'm sorry you have to go. Bye-bye, dear. Oh, don't forget the money.
I'll get it.
Bye-bye, Chris.
Goodbye.
I don't get it. The poor sap must be a hophead seeing snakes on the L. Imagine anyone paying money for this stuff. Say, are you sure he's not a phony?
Ah, he's too dumb to be a phony.
You're right there.
And how would he get all the money? Why, if he had to work for a living, he couldn't make $50 a week. You just don't know art.
Maybe not, but I'm gonna find out about it.
I kind of like this one. But where would you find flowers like that?
I wonder if I couldn't sell these.
And what do I do when he asks where they are?
Say you put them in storage. You know, you gotta protect them. You can't leave valuable paintings lying around where somebody can pick them up.
You'd get in trouble. Any gallery'd know his work. He tried to kiss me today. And don't think I liked it.
Oh, you've been kissed before. Say, they're not even signed.
Oh, that doesn't matter. They'd know him.
Not where I take them, baby.
Johnny, I can't stand to have anybody touch me but you. I hate him when he looks at me like that. If he were mean or vicious or if he bawled me out or something, I'd like him better. Oh, you don't love me or you'd understand what I mean.
No?
No.
No?
Well, maybe.
Working late tonight, Mr. Cross?
Oh, I'm about through, Ben. You can let me out in a minute.
Yes, sir.
Just caught you in time. Cash this for me, will you, Chris? It's personal.
Yes. Yes, of course, J.J.
Thank you, Chris. Good night.
Good night, J.J.
Hello, mate.
Hi.
What you got?
The fella that painted those gets 50 grand for a single picture. Hey, what's the matter with you, Nick?
Where'd you pick him up? Over in Washington Square? The village long hairs are peddling junk like that for the price of the canvas.
These weren't painted by any village long hair.
That's my pawn shop, isn't it? And that snake is strictly from the Bronx.
This fella lives in Brooklyn. He's famous.
Yeah, what's his name?
Well, Look, Nick, I brought you stuff before and you never asked for any name on it.
That was jewelry. Bring me some more of that and we can do business, Johnny. Take this junk back to Washington Square where you got it.
I can see you've got an eye for art. That's one of my best.
Take a look at these.
Oh, I didn't know you were a painter.
I'm not. Are they any good?
Well, they've got something. A certain peculiar something, but no perspective.
Is that important?
I should say it is. Look at my painting. Where did you buy them?
I didn't buy them. I want to sell them.
Oh, you want me to sell them on commission?
How much do you think they're worth?
I always start everything at 25. Then, you know, it's a hard business selling pictures. Yeah, people don't buy art nowadays. No appreciation, no taste, no perception.
And no perspective, huh?
Let me have your name and address.
I'll come back later. So long.
Oh, Joan.
Hiya, Tiny.
Oh, Where'd you get that?
Off Nick.
Well, what about my ring?
You know how much a good diamond costs?
Well, I gave you $900.
Would you pipe down? You've been telling me what a dope the old guy is. Maybe you're the dope. He told you his paintings are worth a lot of money. Did you check up on his story?
What's wrong with it?
They're worth just $25 a piece. That's what's wrong with
You're crazy.
If I weren't a gentleman.
Well, don't get sore.
Well, then don't tell me I'm crazy. I tell you, the old boy's a phony.
His money isn't phony, is it?
He could borrow dough or have it stashed away. Or even steal it.
Chris steal? Oh, jeepers, Johnny, he's not the type. He wouldn't have nerve enough to steal.
Well, he didn't get it from his pictures.
He may be dumb, but not about art. The day he took me to the museum, he explained how everything was done. You should have heard him. People stood around and listened.
What museum?
The Metropolitan. Yipe. They've got pictures there worth $1 million. Where are you going?
I'm gonna make a monkey out of you, lazy legs.
You can't take his pictures to the museum.
Who says I can't?
You know who bought them? Janeway. A Damon Janeway. Don't you know who Mr. Janeway is? He's an art critic. The best authority in New York on modern art. He took one look and bought them both. I couldn't even give him my pictures, not for nothing. He wants to get hold of you. They told me to telephone him. You wait here, huh? No.
For cat's sake, what's so funny?
You are smarty pants. You're the Mr. Fix-It who was gonna make a monkey out of poor, dopey little kitty. So you gave away 2 pictures for a couple of dimes, and now you can't collect the dimes.
Oh, dry up.
Jeepers.
Now what?
What am I gonna tell Chris?
He won't find out.
The heck he won't. That Janeway's a critic. He writes for the newspapers.
Ah.
Golly, you got us in a spot. I told you not to do it.
You're just nervous. The old guy who sold him doesn't know me from Adam.
Say, give me that drink. I can use it.
Chris?
He's got a key.
Well, go ahead. See who it is. Hurry up.
Oh, I beg your pardon, but we're looking for a man, and I'm afraid I don't know his name.
Oh, and I'm afraid I can't help you.
I'm sorry.
Oh, look! There! These are his... Oh, there he is. Why did you run away from me like that, huh? Here, $50, less 20%.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But the pictures you brought me.
Perhaps we'd better introduce ourselves. My name is Janeway. This is Mr. Delarue.
How do you do?
What is it you want?
We'd like to find out who painted the pictures.
You don't know?
Of course they don't know. That's what we're here for.
Look, if you're a friend of the painter, you will put Mr. Delarue in touch with him.
Why'd you buy those pictures if you don't know who painted them?
Because they're good.
Who painted them?
No, Johnny, no.
Oh, don't be so modest, Miss March. Now, you see, you got me in bed. She made me promise not to tell. That's why I made out like I didn't know. She's funny about her painting. Never lets anyone see it. Doesn't even put her name on her pictures.
So I observed. You're an extraordinary artist, Miss March.
Oh, no.
See, she can't stand for anybody to talk about her. She got the idea pictures weren't any good. That's why I took those two to you, to give her confidence. I knew they were good. Now I'll take that money.
I never would have guessed it was a woman.
Nor I. Your work is very strong, Miss March.
May we see some more of it?
Sure, go ahead. Look in the studio.
Thank you.
You're crazy to try a thing like this.
Cat's sake, I thought they were cops. I know what I'm doing. They don't know from nothing.
I can't fool that critic.
You always wanted to be an actress. Now's your chance. You've been around the old boy long enough to pick up his lingo. Feed Janeway some of that. I'll get him in here alone with you.
No, wait.
How long has she been painting?
Ever since she was a kid, Mr. Janeway.
Never went to art school, did she?
No, she just picked it up. I guess I'm the only one who's been encouraging her, kind of helping her along. As a friend, you know, just a friend.
Oh, I didn't get your name.
Prince. Say, Mr. Janeway, she's kind of upset. Maybe you'd go in and talk to her.
Glad to.
Well, Mr. Delarue?
I wonder if Miss March would let me have all of these.
Well, that depends. What's in it for her?
Well, prices will have to be built up, Mr. Prince, but...
I can usually tell whether a canvas has been painted by a man or woman. But you fooled me completely, Miss March. Your work is not only original, it has a masculine force. How long does it take you to paint a picture?
Sometimes a day, sometimes a year. You can't tell. It has to grow.
Of course.
It's a matter of feeling. You know how feeling grows? It's like falling in love, I guess.
That's a very good description.
The way I look at it, every painting, if it's any good, is a love affair.
May I quote that?
Oh, no. Please don't write about me.
I can see you're going to be a very hard case. Why don't you have confidence in your work?
Because I can't draw.
You do all right.
I just put a line around what I feel when I look at things.
You're a very stimulating person to talk to.
How you two getting along?
I think I'm breaking the ice.
Kitty, Mr. Delarue wants to handle all your work exclusively. Is it all right? As a friend, I'd advise it.
Could you come to the galleries tomorrow?
What time?
Any time that's convenient.
How about 12 o'clock? And then lunch afterward with me.
Well,
She'll be there.
I'm glad you're around, Mr. Prince, to make up her mind for her. I can see you're tired, Miss March. This has been enough for one evening. We'd better go. Until tomorrow.
Thanks, Mr. Janeway. So long.
Good evening.
Night, Mr. Delarue.
Good night. Good night.
Night.
Lazy legs. I don't know what you told Janeway, but you got him eating right out of your hand.
It won't stop with lunch.
Well, what's the difference?
If you mean...
Oh, stop acting like a green kid. Let him talk about what he wants to talk about, and he won't talk about art.
If I had any sense, I'd walk out on you.
You haven't got any sense. Right here, just like you'd sign a letter. Come on. Catherine March.
Kitty!
For cat's sake. Put that one back.
Kitty!
Chris!
Oh, Kitty, I happen to be in the nick.
Oh, hello, Mr. Cross. I just dropped in. I thought Millie was here. See, I hope you don't mind my looking at your picture.
Oh, no, not at all, Mr. Prince.
Fine work, that. Remarkable painting. You have a little trouble with perspective, don't you?
Yes, that's one thing I never could master. Perspective.
Well, I guess I'll have to run along. So long, Mr. Cross. If Millie drops in, tell her I'll be at Tiny's place. Don't bother. I'll let myself out.
Has he been here long?
No, why?
I don't like him.
Oh, Johnny's all right. He's a nice fellow, Chris, really is. I don't know why you don't like him.
Well, was he the one?
One what?
Well, you said there was one man.
Oh, for heaven's sake, won't you ever forget that?
Well, was he?
No.
Oh, Kitty.
Go ahead and paint if you want to. I'm not going to stick around if you're going to torment me.
Kitty. Oh, Kitty.
Oh, leave me alone. I'm going out for dinner.
Kitty, don't be angry.
Why do you come here if you want to quarrel? I didn't ask you to come here.
Oh, please, Kitty.
Oh, for Pete's sake. Go and paint.
Well, I can't. I can't do a thing when you're angry with me. Do you want me to go?
I want you to stay here and paint. Chris, I'm sorry, Chris, but why do you torment me about something that's over and done with?
Well, because Would you marry me?
You can't.
Well, something might happen.
What? You better not let your wife hear you talking like that. Of course I'd marry you if you were free, but you're not, so let's not talk about it. Now you go on and paint.
Well, could I paint you?
Well, I was going to do this myself, but, paint me, Chris. They'll be masterpieces.
Hello, Idell. I dropped over to the butcher shop like you told me to. They got a nice piece of liver.
How long have you known Catherine March? Answer me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
How long have you known her?
Well, now, don't get excited. Let me help you off with your coat.
Well, you're the one that's excited. Look at you. Get away with that knife. Do you want to cut my throat? How long have you known her?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't lie to me. You've been copying her work for years. Pretending you painted those pictures out of your own head, and all the time you were just copying the work of a real artist. I'll bet you're at Delarose every day making notes.
Where?
You know where. Delarose Art Gallery in 57th Street. They've got a window full of paintings by Catherine March.
You're talking crazy.
She gets $500 for a single picture. She's a genius. No wonder I used to think sometimes there was something in your work. Now I know why. If you ever do any more painting around here, I swear I'll write that woman a letter telling her you're stealing her ideas. You're a thief. Oh, girls had better watch out. Or next thing you were stealing his money.
Not that one, honey.
Delaroe's asking for more pictures.
Chris just finished it. He'll miss it.
Janeway says the new pictures are the best things you've done. Wasn't I right about Janeway, Lazy Legs?
Yeah, but he gets on my nerves. I've been out to dinner with him 3 times this week, and now he's talking about breakfast. He's getting that look in his eye.
All you gotta do is keep it there.
Well, it's all very well for you to say, but what about the wear and tear on my nerves?
Papa will take care of Kitty. Baby's gonna have a big diamond ring, and a shiny limousine, and a penthouse.
And Johnny?
He goes with the penthouse.
Chris.
How did my pictures get into Delaroe's window?
Oh, Chris. Don't be angry with me.
No, I'm not angry. I just can't understand. It's not possible.
Oh, forgive me, darling. I needed money. They were going to take the furniture back. It was humiliating. I couldn't ask you for more. You've been so generous. I just couldn't. So I sold some pictures.
To Delaroe?
Uh-huh.
You actually sold those pictures?
Uh-huh. Oh, I know I shouldn't have put my name on them, but Mr. Delaroe wanted to know who painted them, and I just couldn't give him your name. Now I can't tell him different. Can I?
No.
Funny part is it didn't seem to make any difference.
Yes, well, the funny part is it made a great deal of difference. If I'd bought those pictures to a man like Delaroe, he wouldn't have taken them. I'm a failure, Kitty.
Oh, you're a great painter, Chris. Mr. Delaroe said so, and so did Mr. Janeway. That is, they say I am.
Well, they're going to keep on saying it.
Oh, Chris.
Oh, now don't, Kitty. Now don't cry. I'm happy. Why, you're just like a dream.
Oh, Chris, you're so good, so kind.
Well, what difference does it make whose name is on those pictures, yours or mine? Why, you're just like we were married. Only I take your name. Well, that gives me a little authority around here. I want to paint your picture, Kitty. How about it? Come with me. Know what we're going to call this? Self-portrait.
Hello, Damon.
Hello there. Hello.
Well,
This is the first time I've ever agreed with you, Janeway.
thank you. I find the painter even more fascinating than her painting.
What's she like? Mona Lisa without the smile.
Something hidden. Sometimes it seems as if she were two people. I mentioned that in my notice. Would you care to see it?
Cross's man outside says he wants to see you.
Who?
I didn't get no name, sir, but he said he was a detective.
You the detective?
Well, I used to be, Mr. Cross. Don't you recognize me? Oh. Oh. Quite a shock, huh? Now, don't faint, Mr. Cross. Keep your head. I'll explain everything. Well, I was in trouble at the time. I'd been collecting a little extra money from the speakeasies along the waterfront. Word got around to headquarters. I was up for investigation. One night I'm down by Brooklyn Bridge trying to fix things up. A man runs in the speakeasy and says, a woman just jumped off the bridge. So I run out and tear off my coat, jump in. The way I felt, I'm hoping I don't come up again. You mind? No. Well, there I am swimming around in the dark. I had hold of her hat once. Next thing I know, I'm all tired out. I heard a tugboat whistle and right down on top of me comes a coal barge. So I grab a hole and climb aboard. I look down my hand. What do you think I got? Her pocketbook. That's what I grabbed a hold of when I thought it was her hat. And inside is $2,700 in folding money. Imagine anybody committing suicide with that much money. Well, the coal barge unloaded on a banana boat bound for Honduras. Well, I went with it.
Yes, but if you're not dead, then I'm not really married to Adele, am I?
What's it worth to you for me to keep my mouth shut and just fade away?
Yes, but if you're Adele's husband...
Wait a minute. I can see you need Adele. I need money. You're a cashier. It ought to be easy for you to put your hands on a couple of thousand.
Oh, I couldn't do a thing like that.
You're going back to her? No. But not to do you a favor, mister. I'm clearing out for Adele's sake. And don't think you're going to get any peace of mind either. I might turn up again someday. She'd kick you out in a minute for a man like me.
I'll get you some money.
Now you're using your head.
Yeah, but you'll have to wait here. I can't get it till after we close at 6 o'clock.
I'll wait, Cross.
Hello, Johnny. Hello, Kitty.
Hi, Marquetti.
Hi.
Don't forget the champagne, baby.
Nice car you have, Johnny. She go fast, huh?
I'd like to see any cop try to catch me. Say, I'll give you 4 bits for a bucket full of that ice.
Okay, Johnny.
Can I borrow the ice pick?
You give it back, huh?
Sure.
Thank you.
Only 200?
Well, that's all I could get.
Don't you think your wife's worth more than that?
Well, look, I want you to get all that's coming to you, Mr. Higgins. Now, what about the insurance money?
Insurance?
Yeah, $2,000 on your life. Adele collected it. It's really yours, isn't it? She keeps it right in her bedroom. Now, I wouldn't touch a penny of it, Mr. Higgins, but if you took it, it would be perfectly legal.
But just how would I get it?
That's easy. This is the night that she always goes out to the movies. I let you in. You take the money. I let you out.
But why don't you get it?
Oh, I got to be able to say that I didn't touch it. You know Adele.
What if she don't go out and I show up? Your goose is cooked, isn't it? Yes, but I can play it safe. How? Well, you come along the street at 11 o'clock tonight. Okay? Why are you whispering? How come the lights are on?
Mrs. Michaels. You remember Mrs. Michaels, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
And the neighbors. Where's the money? In there, in the bottom drawer of the chest.
Okay. Give me the flash.
Please! Murder! Christopher! Christopher, get on the light! Christopher!
All your fears are foolish fancy, maybe. You know, dear, that I'm in love, 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 love.
Johnny. Oh, Johnny.
Lazy legs.
Jeepers, I love you. What's that? Chris? Johnny, is it Chris?
Call him quick.
Chris! Chris!
I ought to push you over on your head.
How'd I know he was coming here tonight? I don't understand.
You don't understand anything.
Well, why get sore at
Well, what
me?
use are my brains if I'm tied up with a dumb clerk like you? I told you to watch your step, didn't I?
That's right. Blame it on me.
Oh, why'd you keep me here tonight? I didn't want to stay.
Johnny, don't talk like that.
Well, it's the truth. I'm fed up with you.
Johnny.
That's the only thing you ever understood. I'm through with you.
Jeepers, I love you, Johnny. Jeepers, I love you, Johnny.
O Lord, have mercy upon us sinners. The way of the sinner is made plain with stones, but the end thereof is the pit of hell. O Lord, be merciful to me, a sinner.
Millie? Yeah, Kitty. You seen Johnny? Oh, I thought he'd go to Tiny's. Was he getting tight? Oh, just a fight. Listen, he can't live without me any more than I can live without him. Said he was coming back here. To beat me up? Jeepers, the way that guy shoots off his mouth. Oh, you don't have to warn me. That's just the way he talks. If you were in love, you'd understand. Oh, stop it. Johnny wouldn't kill a fly. That's love, honey. Here he is now. And has he got a bun on? Goodbye, hon. Hello, Johnny. Come on, Johnny. I heard you.
You lied to me, Kitty. It was him, wasn't it?
Can I help it if I'm in love?
No, just an infatuation. You couldn't love a man like that, Kitty. He's evil. He wouldn't let you alone, isn't that right? I wanted to kill him. Well, that's wrong.
Why'd you come here?
To ask you to marry me.
What about your wife?
I haven't any wife. That's finished.
For cat's sake,
My
you don't...
husband turned up. I'm free. Oh, now, don't cry, Kitty. I know how you feel, but that's all over now. We all make mistakes. I don't care what's happened. I can marry you now. I want you to be my wife. We'll go away together, way far off, so you can forget this other man. Don't cry, Kitty. Please don't cry.
I'm not crying, you fool. I'm laughing.
Kitty.
Oh, you idiot. How can a man be so dumb?
Kitty.
I wanted to laugh in your face ever since I first met you. You're old and ugly, and I'm sick of you. Sick, sick, sick.
Kitty, for heaven's sake.
You killed Johnny? I'd like to see you try. Why, he'd break every bone in your body. He's a man. You don't want to marry me? You? Get out of here. Get out. Get away from me. Chris! Chris, get away from me. Chris! Chris!
Hey! Oh, you look out, Johnny. You kill somebody.
Chris.
Hold on, Chris. Wait a minute. What made you do it, Chris? When these officers called me, I wouldn't believe it.
We were tipped off on the telephone.
By a man named Higgins. I checked the cash before you came in. You know how much is missing? Over $1,200.
We'll take him along. You can make the complaint, Mr. Hogarth.
Hold on, boys. I just can't do it.
What, Mr. Hogarth?
I know you've done your duty, and I'm obliged to you. There's a box of cigars on the table. Take them along with you.
Okay, Mr. Hogarth. It's up to you.
Chris, it was a woman, wasn't it? I thought so. I'm not going to put you in jail, Chris. Only, of course, you're through.
Well, I didn't do anything. I want a lawyer.
Where was he picked up? Riverside Drive. He tried to get away in the murdered girl's car.
That was my car.
This is yours, too. It's got your initials on it. But it's her blood. His $140 was taken out of her pocketbook.
It was mine.
It's her diamond ring. Worth, $500 or $600.
You guys know a lot, don't you? It cost $1,200.
Here's her personal jewelry. Not much value, but he cleaned her out.
Well, why wouldn't I? She didn't have any more use for it, did she? Listen, you guys, I want a lawyer. I'm a citizen. I got my rights.
This belongs to you, too, huh? It's got your fingerprints on it.
Well, naturally, I picked it up. How did I know she was dead? I thought she was asleep at first.
Uh-huh.
She didn't paint those pictures. Old Cross isn't as dumb as he looks. He painted them.
The accused brought me 2 pictures. He told me Miss March painted them.
In my expert opinion, there's no doubt about it. She was a very great artist.
She told me she was an artist when she rented the studio. He was with her. I didn't like him then, and I don't like him now.
Yeah, he was mean when he was drunk. He said he was going to fix her when he left my place around 2 a.m.
That's when I tell him, you look out, Johnny, you kill somebody. So he kills her with my ice pick.
And then I heard her say hello, Johnny, before she hung up. He was there, all right. What I don't understand is this talk about her being an artist. I never saw her paint.
That was one of her peculiar traits. She never let anyone see her paint. I've compared her handwriting with a signature. There's no question.
Mr. Cross paint? He only copied her work. He's a thief. He stole from me, from his employer, from Catherine March.
My wife, I mean my former wife, is correct. I really can't paint. My copies were so bad I had to destroy them.
For cat's sake, he's lying!
Hello, Mr. Cross.
Oh.
Tom Crocker, Evening Globe.
Oh, yes, Tom Crocker.
Joe Williams, Morning World. Yeah. Conway for the Ledger.
Yeah.
Cigarette?
No, thanks. Going to Sing Sing?
Yeah.
I don't like to cover executions, but I must say this is one I don't mind.
You sure cooked Johnny's goose, Mr. Cross, when you testified you couldn't paint.
Nobody cooked Johnny's goose except Johnny. The way he shot off his mouth.
He was a dead pigeon when he dragged the girl's name through the mud. I watched the jury.
If he'd kept his trap shut, he might have got off with his life.
Sure, the evidence was only circumstantial.
What do you mean? Got a fair trial, didn't he?
Yeah, but there's always a doubt.
I suppose you fellas are going to say it was a miscarriage of justice. That someone is getting away with murder.
Not me. There's no such thing. Mr. Cross, nobody gets away with murder.
How's that?
Oh, don't get him started. He'll talk your ear off. That's his pet theory.
All right, go ahead and laugh all you like, but no one escapes punishment. I figure we have a little courtroom right in here. Judge, jury, and executioner.
I don't get it.
Well, murder never solves anything. How about it, fellas? You've covered lots of trials.
I'm sorry, but I have to admit you're right.
The problem just moves in here where it can never get out. Right here in solitary. So what? So you go right on punishing yourself. You can't get away with it. Never.
Now, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, you haven't seen as much of murder as I have, Mr. Cross. I'd rather have the judge give me the work than have to do it to myself.
What time they throw the switch?
11 o'clock.
didn't do it. I tell you, I didn't do it. Won't anybody believe me? Give me a break, somebody. I never had a square deal in my life. Or somebody give me a break.
Johnny, oh Johnny,
Lazy legs. Johnny, darling. I'm here, baby. Jeepers, I love you, Johnny. Johnny. Lazy legs. Jeepers, I love you, Johnny.
Kitty.
Oh, you idiot. How can a man be so dumb?
No, Kitty, no.
You wanted to marry me. You?
She's mine, Chris.
Let her alone.
Mine forever.
You killed me, Chris. You're old and ugly, and you killed me. You killed me. You killed me.
No, Kitty. It's him. You were innocent. You were pure. That's what he killed in you. He's the murderer.
No, he's not. Not Johnny.
See, Chris? She loves me.
That's why you had to die. You're the one I killed.
Now she's mine, Chris.
You killed Johnny? I'd like to see you try.
Kitty.
Why, he'd break every bone in
Kitty.
your body. He's a man.
Kitty!
Johnny, oh Johnny,
Lazy legs.
Jeepers, I love you, Johnny.
There's something wrong in there. It's all right, old man. It's all right.
Johnny, oh Johnny.
Lazy legs. Jeepers, I love you, Johnny.
Get up. Come on, get up. Oh, it's you. Haven't I told you to keep out of this park? You know the mayor's orders. Get on down to the Bowery where you belong.
Come on, come on.
Who's that, Rick?
Oh, he's got a crazy idea. He killed a couple of people 5 or 6 years ago. Can't get it off his mind. Always trying to give himself up. Wants to be tried and executed. You know these nuts.
There goes her masterpiece. I really hate to part with it.
For $10,000, I shouldn't think you'd mind, Mr. Telephone.